Okay.
Hi, everybody, and hi, my beautiful cosmic sister co-host. Welcome, everybody, and today we have Wednesday, December 4th in US and Europe, and Thursday, December 5th. This is a little bit of a cheat, just to be the funny person as always, right? We are pre-recording this video, but it's going to be broadcasted when you are expecting it to be. So we're still going to be with you in the chat, both on YouTube and on Cosmic Guardian. So if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to write them. We're going to be there. And today we're going to talk about what is karma. I think this is a really intriguing topic for me because it's a lot of misconceptions and a lot of kind of judgment coming with it, right? So our last show on Cosmic Guardians was Friday, November 29th in US and Europe, and Saturday, November 30th in Australia, with a rescheduled Bob Eden, the Spiritual Mechanic show. It's the little things that count. And we actually showed up, all of us, Bob, Corrine, and me.
Yeah.
Isn't that a bliss? And our last show here on Cosmic Sis-Stars was Wednesday, November 27th, US and Europe, and November 28th in Australia. And we talked about the attitude of gratitude. I think we always have intriguing topics, don't you?
That was a blessed one. Yes, it was.
So you can connect with all of us, find upcoming shows, past episodes, read articles, and more at angelplaceonearth.com/cosmic guardians and angelplaceonearth.com/upcoming-past. So why not dive directly into today's intriguing topic?
Yes. Let's do this. This is such a as you said, such a topic that has a lot of I guess energy around it because karma has been around for a very long time. And I'm going to let you dive into, because we both have about the same concept of karma. So I'm going to let you get started because I'm going to kind of be doing counterpoints. And so I'm going to let you just kind of say a little bit about what karma has meant over the ages, and then I'll chime in.
Exactly. So what is karma? And karma is a profound ancient concept that originates from the Indian regions, Asia, including Hinduism, Buddhism, Jainism, and Sikhism. I'm not very familiar with Jainism and Sikhism, maybe more because we have
Sikhism,
yeah. So, but we have encountered more things about Hinduism and Buddhism. And karma is a principle that transcends religious boundaries and has found a place in a modern spiritual and philosophical discussions worldwide. But what exactly is it and how does it influence us, right?
Yes.
So karma means action or deed in Sanskrit. It refers to the universal law of cause and effect, karma, the law of karma or the law of cause and effect. So if I do something, I'm going to reap what I have been doing, right? And in general, I'm going to just speak of my take on this. In general, there's a tendency to complicate karma, to think of it
Very much
like
so.
I'm doing something and I'm being punished. So did I create bad karma right now? But it's not as simple as that. Of course, if we have a really mean intention, because intention also counts, right? It doesn't count as much when we are making mistakes, because we do stumble sometimes in this world and we don't really know, we're not sure what we're doing about everything. If we were, we wouldn't be here, would we?
Mm,
So
it's true.
the karma itself and the universal law, where every action we take generates a corresponding reaction, right?
Mm-hmm.
I believe this, but I don't believe it as the way of seeing a punishment. And my perspective is that if I'm going to consciously do something with intention to hurt someone, I'm going to reap that. Of course, I'm going, but that's something I did create. So when we think of it in terms of punishment, it's like we are taking out our own responsibility, like we are victims, and we're
Yes.
not victims. We can fully steer this ourselves, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to stick my nose out here, and I'm going to say that I don't either believe that we are caught up in the loop of karma. I think we have a choice.
And this is where in all the times that I've been working with karma, and then even doing energy work to release the karma and release the akashic records and things like that on an energetic level, I believe that in the beginning that humanity was not able to completely understand that if I do this, this is going to happen. And it helps when there is a greater something out there that says, okay, you want to live this way because then it's going to come back and get you. And that was kind of the philosophy of that what you did in this lifetime, you were going to have to come back lifetime after lifetime after lifetime to get rid of it. Now, I do believe that each time we incarnate, our soul has new things to learn. But I also feel that karma is another word for doing our homework. And now that
Yeah,
we're evolving to the point where we understand that our past is we react from what we have learned in our past, our culture, our family, our teachers, and we talk about this a lot. But learning how to take responsibility for the things that we see in ourselves that we want to kind of refine, let go of. And we don't have to keep carrying this over and over and over and over. And yes, energetically, there is cause and effect. In order to take a rocket and make it move off the earth, the action of pushing against the earth is the only way that it can lift. So every action has an opposite and equal reaction. And that's a law of physics as a law as well as the universe. However, I think we've gotten to a point now where that idea that we are karmically connected, and so we have to suffer this lifetime in order to make up for another lifetime. This is where I start saying, no, we're ready to move into another essence of ourself.
yeah. I simplify um, karma very, very much. So I tend to express it as action and consequences. It's really that simple.
Absolutely. Yep.
Yeah,
And I feel now that are evolving to the point where we understand that our negative thoughts are going to produce negative actions. Our positive thoughts are going to produce positive actions. Um, what happened in our lifetime or in our parents' lifetime that has been put into us, these do not serve us. And this is why, and we're going to be doing the 4 agreements. And
Yes,
I just love that, because it's almost as if it says, hey guys, this is the way to get rid of all that stuff so you can start living your authentic self. And, you know, and yes, we do understand that energetic flow of cause and effect. And it's happening faster now. We have to really be aware of our thoughts. I like to
yeah,
use the example of a bank robber, and for 25 years he's been robbing the banks. He never gets caught, and then one day the effect catches up with him, and he jaywalks and he gets caught. So, but now when we think something, oh, I really need a parking place that's closer, and boom, there it is, cause and effect. So we are
exactly.
manifesting these so much quicker that we need to be aware of all the stuff that got us to where we are.
I think we could actually go through briefly, of course, in an hour or an hour and a half in another show, some universal laws because they are interesting. And
Yes.
as we call karma the law of cause and effect, there are some misconceptions, as you said, right? So
Mm-hmm.
it's very often misunderstood as something that's connected with fate, first of all,
Yes.
and about punishment or reward.
Mm-hmm.
But it's rather about balancing and learning. And karma is a natural law, and all the universal laws, like the physics, are natural laws, right?
Mm-hmm.
Much like gravity, that helps maintain harmony in the universe. Karma does not ever seek to punish, but to teach and guide us towards better actions and intentions. And as I said before, right?
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
I have a really bad intention hurting someone because I'm bad, I want revenge. Yes, my intention there is going to bring something negative back to me for me to learn, not to punish me, because we are like Bob always says. He has one law, right? No, do no harm.
That's right.
But if I harm someone as a mistake, that is very, very different because my intention is not bad.
Yes. And realizing, I love the way that you say this. It's not it's not like a big stick that's going to hit you over the head. It is an opportunity to re-examine ourselves. However, people have a tendency to lump things in certain categories because it's an excuse. Um, oh, well, I'm in this bad relationship because I have karma with this person, and I have to work this out with them. Well,
Mm.
interestingly enough, you may have that opportunity to do that, but it is not a lifetime sentence, because maybe that person doesn't want to work out their stuff. And for you to
Exactly.
just keep taking this abusiveness and caustic relationship, it's not doing anybody any good, and it's certainly not doing the universe any good.
No, and if I would stay in such a relationship, um, I would punish myself because
Exactly.
we tend to forget also that each and every day and minute, an hour, we have the choice to make a new choice. And
Exactly.
because we are meeting, I always call it soul connections because each and every soul connection has a very different energy. So that stems from our history together, where we are residing on the other side, and a lot of things of that matter, right? But
That's
it's
true.
never ever because I meet someone who I have a soul connection with. I'm not obligated to obey. Plus,
That's it.
staying in such a relationship means that I am by staying trying to change the other person. That's not going to work either.
No. I had an interesting situation where I knew that it was lifetimes and lifetimes. But I also knew that all I came here to do was to let this person see what they were capable of. It wasn't my job to change them. And they chose to, yes, that's what I would like to be, but well, I've got to this and this and this. And that's fine. But I understood that my quote obligation for meeting was temporary. It wasn't that I was supposed to keep trying to enforce this and encourage and and give everything of myself when I knew that I also came here to do other things. So you have to understand that you're not the fixer of things except yourself.
Exactly. Exactly. And that part of us that wants to fix someone else. If I just do this, things will get better. If I just adapt, or if I just do this, I change myself
Yes,
until I become a carpet that everybody's walking on, right? That's
that's
not
right.
practical and good for anyone. I don't know if you guys hear the rain here. It's raining heavily. You don't hear it, right?
We
No.
don't hear it because if I heard it, I'd be dancing. So uh, I love the rain.
But it's another thing that I've been asked a lot when I talk to people and clients is, so if this is a soul connection, and I choose to say no, did I ruin everything? Am I not going to ever meet anyone else then? No, that's not the case.
No.
It's just one of our opportunities. And my belief is that we do agree on certain things together with other souls when we incarnate here. It doesn't mean that while we're here, everybody's going to remember in the way that we would wish for, right? That's a different
Yeah.
story. And we never ever ruin everything. On the other hand, actually, if we are in a relationship that is not very good um, for us, or we are not good for someone else, right? There's never ever a bad thing to leave, and we do actually help better in that sense because we make a statement by removing ourselves from that
Yes.
situation.
And I think if we realize that karma, ideas, memories, whatever, if it gives us the opportunity to look within ourselves and say, okay, well, the reason that I feel so connected to this person is because I haven't done my homework. And if
Yeah,
I look at within myself and I realize that there are things that I can uh, do to find my authentic self, then that connection is no longer going to be there. But it's like
no,
two broken pieces that are trying to fit together to make the other one whole, and that's never going to work because you
no,
still just have a broken vessel.
yes, exactly. And oh, sorry, that was my clock. I closed it off. But
Yeah.
anyway, it's my way of seeing it that when we are making choices for ourselves, we help our own situation and our growth and development and understanding and everything. Plus, no matter how hard it may feel at the moment, we do help the other person too. I think that's
Yes.
important to understand because we say, no, I'm not going to accept this. Plus, many, many times, those souls we have a soul connection with, and because it's different in energy, maybe we signed up with each other to come here and do good work together, or maybe we signed up to work through old stuff, right? In
Right.
this dense reality where we don't really remember the whole story. And that can be really challenging. So many, many times it can feel more challenging with the soul connection.
Yeah, it very definitely, because it's more acute. But I mean, karma is almost like uh, a tally sheet, and it's like, it seems like every major religion has a tally sheet. You know, when you die, you're going to have to go to St. Peter, and he's going to read off all the bad things you did and everything else. But when you start understanding that energy is this loving giving, there is no tally sheet. That is a human concept. That, okay, I know that you did this wrong, and you did this wrong, and you did this wrong, and now you're going to have to pay for it. See, that's trying to learn something and then being punished for it. And when you shift that and realize that it's an opportunity to move out of that, it makes it a whole lot different. And I think that as we are evolving and realizing that it is not cast in iron, we came here to experience life and to have this divine experience so we could keep adding new facets instead of just having something hang over you over and over and over. And there again, it's how you perceive it and how you respond to it. And
Exactly. We always have the power in our response to everything. That is very, very powerful. It's very, very deep because we have that. So
yes,
I can move myself through something if I focus and I try to understand that whatever things are playing out from someone else or the environment or whatever, I don't need to respond to that.
right. And to just keep using karma as, oh well, it's my karma and everything else, that's a cop out. That's like
Yes.
saying, my parents were dysfunctional. Well, when I describe what kind of a life I had, I say I was in a normal, dysfunctional American family. Because you know everybody at their level is still trying to resolve themselves. But we are given such a beautiful opportunity with all of these great writers and people that are seeing beyond the veil, so to speak, and saying you don't have to do it with hammers and nails. You can do it now with power drills. You know, we're we're ready to move into a time where it doesn't take generations and generations and lifetimes and lifetimes and lifetimes. We came here much more prepared, and just using all of the things to keep us staying in one spot. We don't need those anymore.
No, we don't. And I always heard the other cop out when you say, "Oh, it's my family karma, so I can't really deal with that." But you
It's,
know that's another way of trying to slide through or escaping or not seeing the situation
it
because
is.
here in this dimension, first of all, the energy is very, very dense, right?
Yes.
We don't come here really when we are born with that compass and a map. Sometimes we wish we would have it. Many are remembering things and seeing, but they are only fractions. So
Yes.
it can feel really tricky to navigate. And a lot of other people say, like those who are working in this field, for instance, well, I don't understand why all the light workers have so bad karma when they come in here. But it has really nothing to do with that. My take on that is that we sign up to come in with the circumstances we need so we can have the start, so we can start to see. Because I think I said this before, we are very convenient as human beings when we are here, right?
Oh yeah.
And if we don't see things, we cannot understand something if we don't see the opposites,
That
right?
that's that that's very true. And I am it is very, very true that we have cellular memory of things that have happened generationally. I'm not saying that that's not a part of our DNA. What I am saying is that okay, that's that. But we now came here to not need that as a guide anymore. And we did come here to have our experiences, all the experiences I've had in my life, the ups, the downs, the ins, the outs, have given me a greater understanding. But they are not me. They are,
No, they're not you.
no. And I choose to have these experiences and learn from them, but I am not going to put them into my DNA so that everybody is going to understand that I suffered here. I did this. I did that. Look at me. I'm the hero. No, this was my personal journey. And
Yeah.
so I think at this time in our evolution, we have been given the opportunity to write our own DNA.
Yeah, we have. And that is very, very powerful because we can make a new choice at any time. We are not because we are at a certain age or we have been in a relationship for a certain amount of time, we have been at the same work for 30 years. We are not bound to not make a new choice about anything, right?
No,
But here's another thing. When we are stating to ourselves, I can't do that because, and all the reasons that comes with that, that
right.
is stopping us because that is our vibration and belief. That's another thing,
Exactly.
right?
Yes. And that's why when we start doing the four agreements, I really love those. They're so simple, and yet the freedom that you find when you start embracing living that way and realizing that yes, our past got us here, got us to the present, but now the present, we get to open it and we get to look at it and we get to see how it's going to fit with us. And to just, as I say, cop out. We've
Yeah,
all had experiences, and they can be where they are just really, really ingrown, but we still have the opportunity to say, this does not serve me any longer. Uh, I
exactly.
mean, how many times do we change clothes? How many times do we purchase a new item or a new car or shift our house around because we are seeing a different dynamics of ourselves, and when we do that, then we can embrace what is
Yeah,
available to us. We don't have to keep going back and saying, well, it's because, and well, I can't get over this because that. And that's a choice. It's not
it is a
easgot
choice.
It is
No, it's
not
not easy.
easy. It's not you flip a switch and it happens, because you've got emotions, you've got all kinds of things that are keeping you on that way. But when you get to that point where you say, that's enough, then you're willing to open the door and then move ahead. Yeah.
Exactly. And it's just loving yourself, being brave, look at things from a
Right.
different perspective, right? I
Yep.
have had to put that in there. And something
Absolutely.
else that a lot of people think, I think we can connect that with karma as well, right? So um, I met a soul connection. Um, but we have been popping in and out in each other's life. And for me, my experience is that that is fairly common because we feel the connection, but it doesn't always come to the place where we are being romantic. And I think that that is the conventional way of thinking of it, right?
Yes, yes. And that's, like I said, it's if if you're trying to build something and you work at it and then you see that that doesn't work, then you need to find another piece that is going to work a little bit better. But we as humans feel that, oh, if we love enough, we can fix it. If we care enough, we can change the mind. If we sacrifice enough, people are going to appreciate it. But what I have found is, as you said, the only people that appreciate a carpet are those with dirty feet. And
Exactly.
so they're never,
And you no, sorry, go ahead. Go ahead.
no, it doesn't. So laying down and being that sacrificial lamb um, hasn't really helped that person become a better person. It's they just
Exactly.
have cleaner shoes. What can I say?
And even though we made some sort of agreement before we came here, nothing is ever written in stone. We
No.
have a brief, that's my belief. We have a brief idea or plan when we come here. But then we are also going to expand. And if things would be written in stone, how would I be able to expand?
Yes, and
I wouldn't.
I really do have a fondness with reincarnation, and I do feel that we. It's like you're looking around and you go, oh, I think I'll try that. I think I'll try that planet. I think I mean, it's like our experiences. But the point is that we don't have to keep learning the same lessons over and over and over. We are now mature enough as a species to say, okay, I see this. I can understand that lesson. I'm going to take the test. I'm going to do the thing and I'm going to be done with it. I don't have to come back 19,000 more lifetimes to kind of refine it. I need to get on with what I came here to do. And I feel that that's the responsibility of people now, is to not find excuses to not do their homework.
Exactly. And you could talk about that in a way that psychologists talk about it, right? You see yourself as a victim for the circumstances, or do you see yourself as having owning your own power and knowing that you can change? And I don't claim either that things always are easy.
No.
And sometimes we may need a few months, we may need a few years to change
Yes.
something. But when we are starting to acknowledge ourselves and what we feel and we go with it, because um, another question a lot of people are popping. So I met a soul connection. Um, how can I, what do I need to do to maintain it?
Oh yeah. Yep.
Well, you know what I say? Just be your true version, your best version, who you are now at this very moment, because there are many things that are going to come with that. First of all, you're not going to attract and hook up with someone for long term when you are showing yourself from the very beginning. But I think that it's also very human to want to show off your best version, to be nice and kind and everything, and then you can't
That's
say no
right.
to nothing, right?
And make sure that this hair is where it should be. And it's just like, yes. It's interesting because when I chose to start dating again, I had I had gone through the four agreements and I had gone through finding my authentic self. And I decided to not have a mask. And I knew this person really, really was attracted to me. And I told him, I I figured this would be a breaker here, and I said I work with energy. Oh, that's wonderful, and which he didn't really understand, but that was okay. And then we went out, and he started asking me other things, and instead of complying or being real nice or just grinning, I very gently told him what what my philosophy was on certain things. And I mean, as simple as it was just when the century was getting to change, and he says, "Well," he says, "do you think that everything's going to come to an end?" And I said, "Well, really, energetically, it's just the beginning of a new phase." And after the meal, he was going to take me to meet his friends, and all of a sudden we're driving back to my house, and he says, "I really like you," but he didn't think I would fit into his friends. But you see, I was authentic, and I was
Yes,
kind, and I told him, I said, "For you to have the courage to say this, that's going to save us both a lot of time and heartache, because I really liked
exactly.
him too. But at that particular time, we weren't going to jive. So for me to try and present myself as somebody he would like, eventually down the line, we're going to have that disagreement. And so finding yourself and not saying, "Well, I have to be with this person because uh, in one lifetime I was mean to them, or I did this, or his parents." You know, that
No,
doesn't serve us anymore.
no, it doesn't. Plus something else that I also been asked a lot. So, how can I clear karma with someone if I do feel there is some kind of karma, right? Oh my gosh, sorry, we have a bad weather here.
Yes,
Um, without if the person doesn't cooperate, is it possible to clear karma? Yes, it is, because we are all unique and individual. So
yes,
even though I may feel in my heart that I would like to help someone, that we could come to some agreement or something, I can't make the other person
oh,
do that because I want it. So, but I can clear it for myself. And
yes,
clearing something, you could call clearing a lesson or whatever you call it, karma, right? But it's the understanding of things. And when I grasped the lesson, when I understood, and it doesn't longer affect me, right?
yes.
That's when
Yeah,
I know I'm done with it.
yeah. And maybe that's what the karma was about. Not them and your unit, your two together being on a repair, but you being repaired so you don't go and make those situations again. So, I
Exactly.
mean, to just say, okay, well, this is how it works, and this is how it's supposed to work, and everything else. Understand that as individuals, that's what we came to do, is to do our own homework, to find our true selves. And if being with someone helps you get to the point where this is not working, I need to make a change, and you do that, well, it is going to change the dynamics of the relationship. But be willing to just let it be, and not stubbornly,
Exactly.
tenaciously saying, "Well, I won't give up this time because I'm going to make it." No, we cannot.
No,
We can only be there to do our homework. And then if a person decides to do their homework, then that's fine. But that
yeah,
doesn't mean you have to come back lifetime after lifetime after lifetime, find this particular person and try to work their stuff out. No, you're working your stuff out. It's only you.
exactly. And it doesn't really mean anything either if there's a person who are very angry at you, for instance, for some people, they have a perception of you and maybe not that correct accordingly to you, right?
Right.
But you could say also that, okay, you are entitled to have that perception of me, your idea, your opinion, whatever it is, right? it's okay, but I'm not going to go along with it. Therefore, I'm not going to be a victim for it, and I'm not going to maintain it, right? So karma teaches us that we are the architects of our destiny. That is the only way I believe in destiny, because we create it. It's
That's
nothing
right.
pre-written for us, right?
Yes. And the pre-written idea was good to help us get to this point. Now it's time for us to put on our big boy and girl clothes and say, okay, I am taking responsibility for what I do from this point on. And
Exactly.
exactly, that's what it's all about. Self-love,
Yes. And
self-awareness.
it's interesting. I'm sticking my nose out here because in this reality, the world, dimension, incarnation, however we want to express that, there's a tendency to take ourselves and each situation very, very seriously. I don't say that all is lighthearted, right? Because we are living through things. But
Yes.
if we think of this, we come here, it's like traveling, taking a trip somewhere.
Uh-huh.
When we come here, we experience this incarnation as a lifetime, and it's very, very long because we have
Yeah.
time here. But
Yes.
when we go back home, it's just a tiny drop in the ocean of time.
It's true. That's true. And to experience it and to relish it and to bring the dynamics of your soul energy here. This is a gift. This is a gift we're giving ourselves. This is a gift we're giving humanity. And each time that we become our authentic self and can inspire someone else to look into their authenticity, I think this is the greatest gift that we can give is the inspiration. And we all know as light workers that we came here for a a real purpose, and we are now, according to everything that is happening, we are finally at the cusp of what we actually came here to accomplish. And folks, it's amazing. So it's time now to uh, stop using other things as excuses and to say, I need to get myself together because what I came here to do, I don't have any more playtime. It's time for me to uh,
Yeah.
you know, to get out there and
And
do it.
and work exactly, and working on different things for ourselves. A lot of people maybe have a challenge with self-esteem. Um, I have a few people I used to. I'm not close to them any longer, but they couldn't look themselves in the mirror and say to their own picture in the mirror, "I love you."
Correct.
So, things of that nature, but we are all worthy, fully worthy. We are
Yes.
not victims of anything. And I think that this is a big part of why we are here now also to understand that. There are so many things going on, and it's an exquisite time to live in
Yes.
because we are also, no matter how much we have experienced and gone through and learned and everything, there's always more and deeper perceptions. Because in reality, while we are here, we can just have ideas about things based on what we are experiencing and what we hear from others at the same time. So we are going to fully remember when we come back home. But my take on this is also that we are indeed safe here. I heard anything from that we can be manipulated to the degree that we um, someone can take our soul and stuff of that nature. I don't really believe that, because the soul is already perfect. It
Yes.
can be prisoned here in the sense that I don't see beyond the veil or the illusion, right?
Right.
But
Right.
that is in here. It's in here. But we are so powerful, we can say no to anything.
We can. We can. And our experiences have shown us that the first thing that we need to do is recognize that we are value. We are valued. We are valuable because we are unique. We are part of the oneness. And this persona that we took on to get around on the earth itself is not really who we are. And
No.
to allow that to just radiate now, and to say, okay, all these things got me here, and as painful as they were, and as much as they have stopped me, and that's what it is. They're here to slow you down. Well, yes, slow you down, say, okay, I need to address this, but not stop you. And this takes that self-love, that determination, that stubbornness to say,
Yes.
I came here and I'm so much more than what it looks like. And it really is easy to say, oh, my parents were alcoholic, or did this, or I was an orphan, or that. And these are not easy things. I mean, children in wars and things like this. But this is giving them the ability to, now that they are really coming into their own persona. And even though, and I feel this, I just saw this. I'm sorry, this is an image I'm getting of of these individuals that have had horrific lives, and they came here because at this particular time in our evolution, it was necessary for them to have experienced these so they can move beyond them. And I'm seeing all of these individuals, and all of a sudden they're just starting to expand. And we are showing the world that as pure humans, we are the next evolution, not what other people think that we should be evolving into. So I'm sorry, I just got chills. That it was.
That's beautiful. That's perfect. So, how would you say that one could practice um, good karma in a daily life?
uh, can I
Good
say
question.
the four agreements, and start working on removing the things that keep you from being that authentic person. And then, just like anything, all the good books tell us, uh, do unto others as you would do unto themselves. And as Bob says, do no harm.
Yeah.
If you do no harm, then that covers a lot of things, because then you're not going to, quote, build up bad karma. And um, and for those that really feel they're bound by that, I do an energetic healing that removes all the karma, clears the Akashic records. I
Yeah.
mean, goes beyond the beyond. And this is helpful to people that don't realize that they have the ability to do that. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's just where they are. And if they can have everything cleared, that they can start again and then do no harm, then that's very, very beneficial. And it doesn't make them lesser. That just gives them
Yeah.
a step up, you know?
Yeah. I do the same thing actually. It's called something else, but there's all this terminology around
I
things,
know,
right?
I know. Yeah.
But it's a beautiful thing. But it's not like we can actually do things for people. We can help to clear. We can open the door.
Right.
We can bring them a new canvas to paint whatever they
Exactly.
want on, and be aware. Awareness.
Yes. And energetically, and that's how we work. Uh, you can start anew, so to speak, and that helps a lot of people that are so bogged down that they don't feel that they have the opportunity to do it. And it's just, I mean, it's like this morning we were having problems with the computer, and the first thing that they tell you is reboot the thing, turn it off, let it rest, and turn it back on. And that's basically what you and I do energetically. And then that person can now start writing on a clean slate. And
Yeah.
so then it's up to them to
Yeah.
dot their I's and cross their T's, so to speak.
Yeah. And talking about that, and this is interesting too, because doing that kind of work, that most people they are very, very curious about past things.
Oh yeah.
And we have so many past lifetimes. But I would say that if there's something of significance to this life, something that we haven't really grasped or understood, that is of significance to be told and found, right?
Yes.
Other things like fancy, I've been the Queen Cleopatra in Egypt. That's not,
Yes.
if it's not connected to my life right now, it's no use for me, right? So you know the difference. You understand what I mean, right?
Yes.
But usually, what's coming up is parts of lives that have some sort of interference in this lifetime.
Yes.
But also the clearing helps to remove obstacles, remove energetic bonds, all of those things. And something that's interesting to know, we create a whole lot of stuff ourselves, and we do that
Oh, yeah.
because we are living in different times. So, as an example, think about a few hundred years ago. If we would have been sitting doing this, which they didn't have internet by on first of
Yeah.
all, but anyway,
Yeah.
we would have been considered witches, and that was a
Oh yeah.
no-no.
Yeah.
So for each and every time, we also go a little bit against ourselves. We do things that are not in alignment with our true self because we do have to adapt to society in certain ways for different times. So that's kind of interesting, also giving a big picture. We are fairly free today, not as free maybe as we would wish, but we are certainly heading there, right?
Yes.
But
Oh
we
yeah.
have the ability to talk about things. We have the ability to express ourselves personally in a new way that we weren't
Yes.
able before.
And I think that's why things, depending on the culture, depending on the time, were put into place so people could understand it. Um, I mean, like having a god of thunder and a god of lightning and a god of this, that gave them a way to be able to, as they were at that particular time, to understand those things before we had the science and stuff like that. So there is no wrong in
No,
that it got. It's just how do we not let it slow us down and use that as an
yeah,
excuse is what I'm saying, that to take responsibility and to use the tools that are now being afforded to us to be able to really free what we came here to do.
exactly. I'm going to pop a joke here. I have the God of Thunder with me.
Oh
Thor,
yes, you do.
Thor, Thor. Yes, Tor.
Yeah.
We say in Sweden.
Yes. Well, we do not hear Thor, but sitting here in the dry desert, we're going, could you just kind of channel some of that over here? I mean, We'll take a little
I
bit of that.
send you. I send you a little bit.
That sounds wonderful. Yeah.
And on my end, I would say that practicing good karma um, for yourself. If we say karma, I mean working for us. Practice kindness and don't forget yourself, because we
Exactly.
tend to be very kind to everybody else, but we forget to be kind to ourselves, right? Be mindful, be aware.
That's right.
They're always coming inside. So when we live on a daily basis, we are getting these hints all the time. Show gratitude, feel gratitude. There's always
Be
something to be grateful
gratitude.
for. Be gratitude, yes.
Yes.
Forgive, forgive. Forgive someone, ask for forgiveness, forgive yourself. Because
Yes.
all we can do is try to do our best. And that's what most people do, right? Trying to do their best. And
Yes.
if you see that this path I took and the way the choices I made, they didn't work out in the way I want. Well, make new choices, new ones,
Exactly.
right?
And I think when you're doing all of these things, if we have them that they are just ours. In other words, we're not forgiving someone to make them feel better. We're letting go of that without expectations, without thinking that they owe this to us, or we can't go on until we resolve that with them. That's their stuff. It's our responsibility to how is it harming us, how is it benefiting us, and address those, because I guarantee you that these people that hold anger for someone, let's say in a divorce, oh, I'm going to hate them and everything else. Well, they're off living their life and having a good time, and here you are just, and the only person that's hurting is you. So
Exactly.
taking it in the I, taking it in the, I'm doing this for me. I'm not doing this to make them feel better or to give them, off the hook. That's not what we came here to do. We came here to be the best that we can be and then move on from that. So it's
Exactly.
that's
And
hard
I
to
love
do.
this. I love it is, but it's very, very doable.
It is.
And I love the story you told about when you had a date and when you were your true version, authentic self,
Yes.
and he was, and he um talked to you. It takes two mature, very bold and courageous people to do that,
Yes.
because that is the right way to go. And I think that a lot of people get caught up that we had another show on that, the neediness. I need someone. I
Yes.
need the prince on the white horse or the princess to come and save me because that's how I'm going to find happiness. No, it's not.
Yes. And what was interesting with that ride home, he was holding my hand. There was so much physical traction between the two of us, you could just feel it. And he did not want to let me go, but I had been, and I was kind. It wasn't like I'm going, well, this is what I am, and if you don't like me, such. It wasn't that way at all. I was just answering the questions like you and I are having conversation. And I told him, how much I appreciated that he took that under advisement, because oh my goodness, I forgot to plug in my computer. it's telling me I'm running out of juice. But
Okay,
anyway, that's just being able to be true to yourself. It's not that you're saying, okay, well, these are my list of things. This, da, 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 da. No, it wasn't a list. It was, this is what I feel in my core, and you know. So just if I dodge out of the picture, I've got to grab my connection here. There we go.
that's okay. That's perfect. Um, Perfect. Now, then, when we have a lot of cats here, right?
That's right. Okay. Now it's
But I
going to
think
be
that
happy.
the most powerful and beautiful message from today's show is that um, karma is the law of cause and effect. I
Yes.
mean, your choices and the consequences of your choices, right? So
Right.
it's very, very simple. We don't need to create something that is hard and difficult or anything, or make excuses for it, right? Because we
Right.
aren't victims, and we need to realize that, right?
And we're not being punished. We're not. We're not.
No,
We're not a bad person, and so now we have to atone for that. That's not what it's all about. I'm telling. I guess there we go.
there we go.
See, I'm perfectly imperfect. What can I say? And but I said I need to do this, and instead of going, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? It's karma. I no, I just go, okay, this presented
But
itself. Now
but we
take
do
care of
have
it.
something else. We do have something else right now, and that's kind of interesting. We are in Mercury retrograde. I think
That's
it's going to last to the 14th of December. What a
yes.
bliss, right?
But there again, when people take karma as something bad, then they're fighting against it, or they're complying to it, or they're being pressured into it. With Mercury, it gives us an opportunity for change. It gives us an opportunity to reevaluate things. So
Yeah, to go within.
letting it be our friend is a whole much better way than going.
You know what I always say? Because everything is energy, and every energy has two polarities, at least two polarities,
Yep,
right? So we can always work with all energies, every
yep,
single one of them. But we need to be aware of that. I was someone who actually, quite a few years ago, I did try to fight Mercury retrograde because it is affecting me heavily until I realized, why am I doing that? Because that puts me in the place of resistance. No, I'm going to work with it instead.
yep. And when it happens, you just say, "Well, Mercury, that was interesting."
It
And
was really, yeah.
yeah,
So, you could say that karma is a powerful reminder of interconnectedness, right?
mhm,
Of all things, because we are all connected. Um, Karma encourages us to live with integrity, kindness, and mindfulness, and knowing that
very
our
good.
actions today will shape our tomorrow. But that is also our personal power, right? It's not a punishment, it's nothing bad. It's fantastic because it takes us from the place where we may feel as a victim to the place we feel like I am in charge. I am in charge, right?
Yep,
And just choices and consequences of those choices. And if we encounter a consequence that we dislike, well, sometimes it takes a little bit longer time to change things, and that's okay too. Sometimes it's coming in an instant. If it's just a mindset, we can change that very, very fast. We can always change direction. We can always, always, always. We are never stuck.
that's true. And as long as you realize that you're the captain of your ship, and we've been taught that we were not the captain of our ship. And once you realize that you are the one that can make these choices, and again, I say this is not, yes, there's a switch in the mind which says I'm changing this, but it's going to take effort and time and patience, and realize that, as you said, it may happen instantaneously, but it may take a long time. And then it may open other things up, and just be willing to not stop because it gets
Exactly.
difficult. And be kind to yourself, because it took a long time for us to develop those concepts of ourselves. It's going to take time to clean them out. Cleaning house takes effort, and you can't do it until you move that stuff out, and then you clean, and then you put things back. So
Yeah,
it's a process, cause and effect. But when you
exactly.
love yourself and you want to make these, and you're, as you say, when you're kind with yourself, when you're mindful, when you have gratitude for what you are doing. We always have gratitude for that, gratitude for this, but what about gratitude that I have the courage to make the change?
Exactly.
Let's
And
take
the
care
power
of
to make
us.
it is in my hands, and whatever is not in my hands, things that I can't really change because they don't belong to me, circumstances maybe. I have my
Right.
response. That's also a consequence and a choice.
That's right. But just it's where the simplicity comes in is just practicing that kindness towards yourself, practicing self-love, practicing self-awareness, practicing self-worth.
Yeah.
Because when we value ourselves and realize that we're not just a cog in the wheel, we are the wheel. We are the
Yeah, we are.
creation. Yeah,
And whenever we made, because sometimes we think that, why did I make that choice in the past? Why did I do that? But also remember that we all are some of what we have experienced to this point.
yeah,
So
and
without experiencing those things, we wouldn't be the same version. We would be another version, right?
that's true. And
Sorry.
and I
Yep.
believe me, I've made a lot of those. What the fruitcake did I do that for? you know,
But it's okay. It's okay. And we tend to also forget that at that time, maybe we made that choice based on
what
what
we had
we
available.
knew. Yeah,
Exactly.
exactly.
Exactly. So, we are perfectly imperfect, and we have the experience of this lifetime to see some amazing things that are transpiring, and those of us who came here to be at this particular point in evolution, hang on, ladies and gentlemen, because we are moving right into it. And
We are. And that's exciting.
yes, it
It's
is.
a wonderful time to be here, isn't it? Exciting time.
Yes. If you're the kind of soul that loves to go into places when things are going to go, you know.
Well, I think we most of us who are here at this time, we did sign up for it in one
Yeah.
way or the other. So
Yeah.
um, I choose to see that as a blessing. Maybe sometimes I am grumpy sometimes. I say, what did I do? Or I state something, I'm not coming back here ever again. But I say that
Oh,
as a joke. But I may actually. My belief is that um, most actually can choose. We are not bound to, but we are going to encounter when we come back. We are going to encounter what we need to experience to see to move us forward.
yes,
That's for certain, right?
that's true. And and I was told in a meditation that my soul loves to incarnate when the indigenous population is getting ready to make a great big uh, change in
Change.
evolution. And I'm going, I don't think so, but but apparently it is so because I'm here, you know.
Yeah, you're here. And I'm so happy I found you because you're in good company then. So, I have you. I have your back and you have mine.
That's true.
So, is there anything else we wanted to say about karma today?
Well, we could just keep rattling on forever. I think we touched on some very good points. And again, take what we say, try it on. If it fits, fine. If it doesn't fit, you know, go another way. But it may give you thought to look into things differently. And that's all this is about, is to give you the inspiration to look into yourself and look into the possibilities.
Exactly, because the possibilities are endless.
That's true. That's true.
Says this positive, over the top positive lady, right?
Yes. Well, it
But
is a
actually, yeah, no, go
cockeyed
ahead.
optimist. A cockeyed optimist.
Yeah, but that's a choice also. So I choose to see things from the positive end. And if I'm going to be convinced otherwise, maybe I'm moving myself towards something that doesn't appear to be as positive as I thought in the beginning. Yeah, I remove myself. I change. I make a new choice. That's
Yep.
karma, right?
That's karma. That's right.
So. So then, everybody, thank you so much. And this is a pre-recorded video, but we are still going to be with you in the chats on Facebook and Cosmic Guardians. Sorry, I said Facebook. I mean YouTube. And you have been watching Cosmic Sis-Stars with host Anne and Corrine discussing what is karma. We have this in our heart because it's very important and meaningful to us, right? Our next upcoming show here on Cosmic Guardians is on Friday, this upcoming Friday, December 6th in US and Europe, and Saturday, December 7th in Australia. Australia is always, no matter how we twist and turn it, they are always our future, aren't they?
Yes. Well, you're my future. So, this is, you
Yeah,
know,
yeah, I am. Exactly. So it's funny in that way, right? And that's going to be with Bob Eden, the Spiritual Mechanics Show, discussing recent turning points in the trajectory of humanity. That's going to be kind of intriguing too, right?
that's going to be big.
Yes. And our next show with Cosmic Sis-Stars is going to be next Wednesday. And we will welcome again special guest Elena the Greek, all the way from northern Greece. We just love her, right?
Yes.
It's going to be Wednesday, December 11th in US and Europe, and Thursday, December 12th in Australia. And we will talk about Guided by the Divine, a journey with angels, ascended masters, and higher beings of co-creation. That is a
Wow.
juicy one.
It is.
So we go live for you, or at least we are having a pre-recorded video with this show every Wednesday and Thursday in Australia. And we also go live with Bob Eden, the Spiritual Mechanics Show on Fridays in US and Europe, and Saturdays in Australia. Again, you can connect with us, find upcoming shows, past episodes, read articles, and connect with all of us, right? At angelplaceonearth.com/cosmic guardians, and find coming and past episodes at angelplaceonearth.com/upcoming-past. And I'm going to just show something here. So we have that on as well. Next live, that's going to be on Friday. Okay, so where do we have? I have something up here I want to take away. Here, that's it. Now I'm confident. So thank you everybody for interacting with us, watching this show with Cosmic Sis-Stars. And see you soon. And I say love, light, peace, and joy to you all.
And love, light, and laughter.
That's a good one.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye-bye.